Good morning. It is Thursday, January 26th, and I am going to be doing a drive to a customer location in Chaska, Minnesota this morning. It's mostly highway driving, but there is some city portions, so I wanted to record a quick video on that. Depending on if my camera can stay running during the, one sec here. Looks like there's a big chunk of ice in the middle of the road. Minnesota problems for sure. So rather than let my car hit it, I'm going to move and take over there. But yeah, so this drive is mostly freeway driving, but there are some city portions here at the beginning and end of the route. So I am going to record those portions at the very least, and then if my camera stays running, I will let it do the other portion as well. So looks like it's having a tough time here with this garbage truck that I don't know what it's doing. So I'm going to take over again. So 2 disengagements and 2 blocks here. Not the best of start. Let's see here. There it goes. So, you know, this route, like I said, I've had some problems with my GoPro staying on for like longer than like 30 minutes, but it's so cold out, hopefully it shouldn't have a problem today. And as you see here, again, I'm just going to keep calling this out. My car gets super confused with the residential roads by my house, and it frequently wants to go to 30 miles per hour or my offset, which is higher, like 34 miles per hour. So that always requires me to down select the speed. You know, one workaround for this is setting the adjustment, you know, like the offset at a negative percentage. But I don't really want to do that because that creates other problems when you're actually using regular autopilot. You know, for the longest time I just was thinking maybe Tesla could have a different speed offset for FSD and one for Vision Autopilot. But now since they're so close to joining, you know, the 2 stacks and having a single stack, you know, FSD solution going forward, I don't think that's going to happen. So in the meantime, I have to constantly adjust the speed. I've gone through every feedback loop I can think of with Tesla. So, you know, anybody out there that has any other ideas of places to submit a bug report for the broken speed limits around Minneapolis, I would be all ears, because it's super annoying and it causes constant issues with FSD around Minneapolis that have been there for basically the last year or so. And what's so frustrating is, like, they're really avoidable. I mean, if they even just gave the public the option to submit bug reports for the speed limit data, this issue could have been fixed a long time ago, because I've reported this over 10 times to them via numerous email distribution lists that I found, support, Twitter, you name it, I've tried it. So, anyways. A little bit of false braking there, and it seems to do that at this intersection every time, so I'm going to report that. Doesn't seem to matter if I'm going, you know, either direction. It seems to do it on both. So I'm not sure what it's seeing. I'll have to go back and watch the footage there, but from what I recall, there's never been anything, you know, visibly indicated on the UI for why it stops at that previous intersection, even when it's green and clear to do so. I did cancel that turn signal there because both of these lanes are going to technically merge into one as we get on the on-ramp here, so I kind of want to see what the car is going to do. We are slowing down. It looks like it wants to get over regardless, so I'm just going to give it accelerator. Looks like it's having a little tough time getting over, but there's nobody to our left here, so. And it looks like the meter lights are actually off, so I'm just going to continue to kind of press the accelerator to go a little faster here. And any moment now, once we merge on Interstate 35, it should switch over to, you know, the vision-based autopilot stack. The stack that we hope is going to be gone very, very soon. Hopefully we get version 11 here in the next week or so. I'm really eager to test it on the highway, because this software, for the most part, it's remained unchanged now for a few years. There's been some minor changes under the hood, especially with the deletion of radar and things like that. But, you know, lane change logic, car following distance, you know, is pretty much been unchanged, you know, since basically like 2019, it seems like. So really eager to put version 11 through its paces. I do a lot of highway driving, so I think there's a lot of room Tesla can make up in the driver assistance system space with some, you know, more intelligent lane selection, logic, and all the things they've learned from FSD on city streets. That if they apply that to, you know, the highway portion of the code, it's going to be really, really good. So I'm looking forward to that. But you know, expect the first few builds anyways to be pretty buggy and then get better from there. So just want to temper expectations as best as possible. So after about 30 minutes or so of driving on the freeway, we are exiting Highway 212 now onto Powers Boulevard here. I believe we're in Chanhassen right now. So just a little bit, about 5 minutes of driving total remaining. Just about 3 miles, looks like, left in this route, and then we'll be at our destination. So I almost would have rather had FSD stick in the left lane there, since we had to make that lane change right after making the right, where we could have avoided that. I would write that off as a mapping issue, because I'm sure it's going off of stale data. It looks like this road is fairly new, so I would not be surprised if this isn't this road layout change isn't included in the map data that Tesla has. Tesla's map data in the Twin Cities is pretty bad. It's very, very old. I think it's probably older than 3 years old, to be honest with you, based upon some changes that were made years ago that still aren't included in what the car is showing from a nav perspective. So a little bit of slowing there as we were waiting to see what the light color was. They were kind of blocked by the truck in front of us. Not sure if we could have done anything else there rather than blast through it. You know, I think slowing down just a little bit while continuing to roll is the right move. So jamming on the brakes obviously would not be the right move. So I'm glad I didn't do that, which I think, you know, it honestly did in previous builds. So, you know, again, the creep behavior continues to be, you know, to improve build after build. So looking forward to some further improvements in that department in version 11. I'm going to slow the speed a little bit, but one thing I want to call out is around corners where there's traffic lights at the end of the curve, FSD has gotten a lot better. I've noticed a lot less false slowdowns in 69.25.2 and .1, where I had previously seen slowdowns coming around those corners there, as it would be uncertain what color the light was, you know. So that's been something I think is, I haven't heard many people talk about, but it's behavior I've noticed now quite a bit, as there's several roads I drive on that have curves like that where there's a light at the end, but previously it would slow down quite a bit before as it tried to figure it out, almost treat it as if it's red, and then wait until the last second if it was green to proceed, which was not good behavior. It was cautious, but not the best behavior, obviously, if you're trying to blend it into traffic with human drivers and whatnot. So I believe we have a pair of roundabouts up here. The first one will be going straight through, and I think the next one will be taking a right on. Could be wrong. I think there might be 2 or 3. I can't remember, but one for sure. And the difference between these roundabouts and the ones by my house, they're a little bit higher speed, so we come into them from a 40 mile per hour, you know, speed limit, and we drop down to about 20. Let's say it's about 20, 25, somewhere in that range. Slowing down quite a bit. There's nobody behind us yet, so we're stopping well short. So I'm gonna hit the accelerator here and let it do its thing from here. I just nudged it a little bit, and it's struggling quite a bit. It's not going super fast through that, so I'm gonna report that. That's definitely not the behavior we want to see. And then it's signaling even though there's only one lane, so a couple mistakes there. We got another one here to prove ourselves, to see if it does the exact same thing here. This one looks to have 2 input lanes coming into it from our direction, so there was a car behind us, but he looks like he's getting in the right lane, so. So it was good behavior up until we entered it, and then we hit the brakes a little bit, so I would have much rather had it not use the brakes, and that would have been honestly perfect. So gonna report that one as well, just for that last second brake input. We could go without those sort of things, especially if there are cars behind us. pretty poor visibility, honestly, considering the snowbanks. We've gotten a lot of snow here, so but not a terrible job there, honestly. A couple minor things that I found there, but again, no disengagements to those roundabouts. So roundabout behavior continues to get better. Still some room for improvement, but anyways, that's it for this drive. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.